Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to SEE Blissfully-lit Podcast. I'm your host, Sammy. And as always, it is a pleasure to have you joining me on one of my solo casts where I discuss what is, what was, and what always will be in our present moment, and share experiences from my life and what's relevant to the topic. So we'll dive right in today. It is August 14th, and it's a special day. It's the day before a Remembrance Day or a Founder's Day for a teacher who's significantly impacted my life, Master Choa Kok Sui. And he is the modern day founder of Pranic healing and Arhatic yoga practices. So in the next day or so, there will be many group gatherings to meditate and commemorate all the practices that he spread, and he really put his life and his energy into creating books so the practices could be learned and standardized, and they've significantly impacted the lives of many, including myself. And that brings me to the topic that I really want to share today. I was trying to decide, what to specifically talk about in regards to Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui. And I was flipping through the book Origins of Modern Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga. And I found that he opened the Institute for Inner Studies in order to spread pranic healing and the practices that he founded on April 27th of 1987. And he started a movement with Charlotte Anderson in 1998 called the Planetary Peace Movement. And this movement was started to spread a specific technique, meditation on twin hearts, which is honestly my favorite meditation. And it's a meta meditation that focuses on activating the heart chakra and the crown chakra. And it's incredible because it's a loving kindness and compassion meditation that not only cleanses yourself, but it spreads compassion and peace to other people in the world, and it can really reverberate in your environment and what you attract. So where do I begin? This meditation really changed my life significantly. I believe I may have mentioned it before, but I found meditation on twin hearts when I was kind of at a low point in my life. And I honestly would have a drink every night and was managing depression because there were a lot of internal and external factors going on in my life after having had a divorce and navigating what was next. A friend mentioned meditation on twin hearts, and Master Ko, Stephen Ko, had many and still has many and continues to post many videos on YouTube weekly that you can join live. And he practices meditation on twin hearts and great invocation. So I tried it out and I liked it. I'd done some different types of meditations before, but this was different. And I noticed after doing it a few times that it was really helping me a lot. And I started drinking less and less and less and meditating more and more. Um, and one thing that I noticed was I wasn't really focusing on the bad things anymore and the challenges so much in my life. I was kind of focusing on gratitude and what was going well in my life and what I wanted to create, and it was very amazing. It was a process though. It didn't happen overnight. Uh, this happened probably over the course of like 3 to 6 months, but it really helped me to move through one of the hardest parts of my life and see the light at the end of the tunnel. Uh, it helped me to start managing stress, managing anxiety. I went from obviously drinking, and I went to therapy and had medicine to help treat anxiety attacks, and I didn't have to take those anymore after I started meditating regularly. I honestly didn't really use the medicine too regularly anyways, but when I had panic attacks, I didn't feel like I needed it. And that was really nice because typically those medicines are used short term anyways. And oftentimes people get somewhat dependent on them. So it was really nice to be able to depend on myself in those situations and know that I have different tools to help me to cope and to regulate myself and move forward and not let those reactions and emotions take over portions of my day and my life. So after practicing this meditation for a while, I decided to learn more about pranic healing because it helped me a lot. And I was to the point where I believe I was meditating at least every day, if not twice a day. And I'll link my website in the description here, and I post a few different places that you can meditate live, but there are countless spaces to tune in and meditate with, trained instructors, um, masters who have been trained by the founder, Master Choa Kok Sui. I highly recommend that you try it out. I even posted a video of it on my page if you want to try that one. But so I decided to figure out what this pranic healing thing was because this one meditation was changing me so much, and I had been practicing for months and it was somewhat changing the environment I was living in too. Uh, I noticed the people around me becoming a little bit nicer and even just like caring a little bit more. I might be asking some questions and being more open to discussions, which is really beautiful. And when I went to my first pranic healing class, I was incredibly amazed because this world that I thought was in my imagination was really real. And I learned that I can trust my intuition, and there's a lot more subtlety to the world than we actually recognize or are taught. And I think that more individuals are becoming more aware of this and working with energy, and I believe that that has been a movement throughout my lifetime. I have to say, I was 5 years old when he started the planetary peace movement, so there have been a lot of changes since then. But it's an incredible meditation. And how long ago was it that I started it? 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And my head's never been so clear. And I actually know what I want in life. And I'm learning to trust my intuition and starting to see visions and understand my dreams again. And this was the original topic that I had planned for this podcast, was dreams and visions and understanding your subconscious and intuition, because it holds a lot of the answers to what you internally are holding on to and maybe subconsciously are pulling into your life. So as I continued meditating, it really clears your energy, and I practice pranic healing, so I was also healing myself and healing other people, which clears your energy centers and just allows for clarity in your thoughts, in your speech, and your actions. And part of the practice is actually self-reflection. And so I became more aware of self-talk and subconscious beliefs, and what's actually brewing in the brain subconsciously when we're moving through each and every day. Sometimes you'll drive somewhere and not remember actually going there, and what were you thinking about that whole time? So it makes you more aware of that. And perhaps you change it and you're mindfully thinking of things that you actually want to think about, things that you want to create, things that matter to you and inspire you and make you want to try. So as these meditations were clearing me, and still are, I love them. I meditated today and did Twin Hearts meditation. I noticed that my intuition became sharper. And I also noticed that I started to remember my dreams again. And in this remembrance, I actually have uncovered a lot of memories from childhood. And in some of the learning that I've done, I mean, I've studied psychology. Sometimes we go through traumas, and it can be a very life impacting trauma, and it can be a very not so kind of an insignificant trauma that can cause you to block off memories. So as I was clearing different energies, I started remembering different stuff from childhood, and part of that was dreaming. And I was a very active dreamer, and I created dreams and went on adventures and really enjoyed dreaming when I was a child. My parents had a time that we would turn off the lights, and we weren't allowed to read. We never had TVs in our rooms. So as a child, I enjoyed dreaming. It was actually quite fun. Because I wasn't distracted by different things, I would go to sleep at night. And some of the memories of those dreams and the spaces I entered in those dreams came back, which was quite intriguing. And even now, dreaming is more active for me and interactive. So sometimes when we dream, one of my teachers, Shandon, talked about this topic. And he shared that sometimes when we dream, we go into more of an astral type of dream, and it's emotionally based if you're carrying emotions before you go to sleep. And sometimes you subconsciously work through those emotions. And this is something I've already been aware of because I've read a lot of books about dreams and dreaming and behavior. But I didn't realize that you like actually were going to kind of an astral space and working through those dreams. And that can be different than other types of dreams. And I was always very adept to lucid dreaming and, creating the space that you move into. So, and understanding, different visions and subconscious thoughts and tendencies that we move in and out of, having this awareness of dreams can really help. And I've always enjoyed talking to people about their dreams and what they remember from them, because sometimes you can uncover, just in talking to somebody about it, oh my goodness, I was upset about this with this person, and that's why this has come back up in a dream. And you can work through, different things that you didn't really realize you were holding on to in your subconscious mind and clear those. So you're not holding on to them anymore. And I mean, perhaps there's a person that upset you at some point in your life and you really held on to it. And it gives you the opportunity to understand why you were upset and perhaps to let that situation go and clear up space for creation and joy and fulfillment. And as you clear more, you can create more. And I've said that I have read a lot of books on dreams and astral travel and lucid dreaming. And I had this technique that I would do every night. And you can build your own dreamscape. I don't recall what book I read it in because I read so many books and right now they're boxed up. For me to try to find it to reference it. But I would build my own dreamscape and you can create it however you want. And I had a pathway that I would get to it. And there was a door and everything, and I designed it just the way I wanted it. And I would consciously go there every night and have very vivid dreams and travel going to these amazing places. Flying over the treetops of jungles and in and out of outer space, just incredible, incredible dream travel. And I'm sharing this with you so you can open your mind to what you can make of your resting time and sleep, because it's not only for the body, which it's super important to get enough sleep. It's actually very, very important for your body to get enough sleep. It keeps it healthy, but there's a lot more that goes into sleep and dreaming. And I mean, in a way, we never sleep. So on to intuition. We'll just leave it at that. On to intuition. These practices have really helped me to trust my intuition more. I'd realized that I was very sensitive to other people's beliefs and kind of in a people-pleasing way, their thoughts and their criticism and judgment, I would just kind of heed to that instead of actually checking in with myself to see, maybe what decision might be better for me. So doing these practices has really helped me to hold space for my own beliefs and my own thoughts and make decisions from a clear space, a clear grounded space of wholeness and trust in myself. And something that Master Choa has mentioned in some of his videos, because I watched them quite a bit, is you have intuition, and it's from an upper chakra in your head, and you have instinct, which is from a lower chakra that is in your navel area. So kind of that gut feeling comes from the lower region. And intuition that I'm talking about is more of a subtle, just knowing. And it's not that voice in your head that's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That comes more from an ego or a fear-based space. But it's just a clear knowing that's very calm. And there's no emotion to it. It's just a very calm, this is how it is. I don't know who needs to hear that or understand it more, but that is my take on it, and that's how I've been able to determine intuition from ego, from instinct. And yeah, I hope that that helps somebody who needs it. And if you have questions, feel free to leave questions in the comments. My website's posted on here. You're welcome to set up a session with me. We can chat, talk about it. You can work with me and we can figure out what it is that you are guided to and want to overcome in your life. But there is so much more to living and so much more understanding that you can have of yourself and set yourself free. And it all just starts within. And I have so many people that I can thank. But most of all, I really thank Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui for spreading his teachings, because they found me at the right time. And they've drastically changed my life and perhaps saved it. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. I typically do a little meditation at the end. And today I encourage you to find meditation on Twin Hearts. You can go on my page if you want. You can do my version. And you can find it elsewhere. I also have a few live events posted on my website that I like to attend. But go try it. You can even try a recording. There are plenty of recordings. And see how it feels. See how you feel afterward. And I'd love to hear your comments. So, with that being said, we'll take just a moment together in oneness. We'll take a big, deep inhale. You can close your eyes if you'd like, not if you're driving, of course. Fill up your belly, fill up your diaphragm. And I want you to sigh it out, pressing all the way down, feeling your navel push against your spine. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Another big, deep inhale together. And sigh it all out. This is a breath of remembrance that we are all one and we're interconnected. And this realization starts within. It starts within you, within your breath, within this moment. I cherish you, and I wish you well. Peace be with you.